Well, guys, we are here at one of my favorite booths, Extreme Engineering, and of course we have one of my favorite guys to interview, Matt. Matt, you guys told us all sorts of interesting stuff with your press announcement. I wanted to get a little bit more detail about this actual ride vehicle system, and now we have a physical Class 5 harness for your cloud coaster. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, thanks so much, and thanks for coming back over. As far as our seat goes specifically, we started integrating the technology that needs to make it a real coaster. So we actually have a locking lap bar, and that locking lap bar is controlled by the same pistons that are on the back of all the coasters at the back of Universal and Disney. So it's all self-locking with the rear release, allowing it to raise over the participant when they're done, and also having a redundant safety strap for when they're on the ride. The next iteration of this is, instead of the lap bar being manual, doing it to overhead sensors on the top of the actual track so that it's all automated. Exactly. So we've already been in touch with those guys. That'll be the next iteration. That's the next step of technology for it.
Excellent. Now, it's kind of neat because we've seen you guys take your basic design a couple years ago where it was pretty much like a sling. And now look what you guys have. So you pretty much have a working coaster. And I know during the press announcement I asked, can you do tandem cars? Can you go a little bit more in detail about that?
Yeah, so the tandem cars, with substantiating the single rider, we want to still apply all the same technology to a dual rider system. Now, the only challenge with that is obviously we added a lot more mass to this. So now the track needs to be able to substantiate that mass. So as far as being able to execute it, it's all engineerable and it's all doable. I don't have the designs penciled out and done right now. We are going to do a more robust track. Most likely we'd switch over to the space track that we looked at 2 years ago, which is basically an upside-down coaster track. Yeah.
Now, I see something in your hand. You wouldn't just be holding that just because you like it, right? I see a wheel. What is this?
Oh, yeah. Now, with everything that we've done technology-wise, the biggest breakthrough is usually the wheel, the simplest part. We had before the small caster wheels that you saw, as well as trying to do an iteration of almost like a rollerblade wheel. It just didn't perform the way we wanted to. So we actually went, and the same gentleman that makes many of the coaster wheels for the bigger coasters made our own wheel for us. Now, instead of having something that, of course, now something that needed traditional, a little bit more maintenance, maybe biannually or annually, now we're looking at a 2 to 3 year kind of cycle time on a real roller coaster wheel.
And I can tell right off the bat, this is all, it looks like CNC machine, so it comes from a regular block. This is a very sturdy, legit wheel. This is going to last a while, which is kind of neat. And I think, like you said, the advancements that you've done, even from the safety systems up here, obviously you guys have multiple redundancies. Can you tell me about some of the chassis design on this?
Yeah, so when we changed the wheels, we went ahead and tightened up everything with the trolley itself. So we lost all the slop in the trolley, meaning that sway that you saw traditionally with the sling harness, that's gone now too. You'll see the U-joint that's on top of this trolley and chair setup, meaning that swing now is very predictable and a lot more true, both left to right as well as forward to back. You do have your primary connection with the U-joint, 1-2 redundancies, and then the dampener system that we're using also.
Of course, I would expect later on we're going to have some sort of sensors built in and all that stuff, so there's a built-in onboard computer system always monitoring. Eventually, I would assume, unless you guys already have it, correct?
Yeah, that's going to be the next step. So putting a bow on this and giving people the confidence that all those technologies are now applied, not just spoken, is really put us to the next stage.
Now, Matt, we know that you have an exciting project that you guys have been working on for the past couple of years. Can you tell me about the giant observation wheel and how you have a cloud coaster pretty much going right through the middle of it in that project?
Yeah, Megapark is actually done and installed. Megapark is in Quebec City, Quebec, and that is a 600-foot track that's actually going inside and outside of a Larson Ferris wheel. It's not truly a hubless Ferris wheel. It's a round member with carts going around the outside of it, but it has the same appearance. That project is done and being installed. Will open, supposed to be open the end of January of 2019.
Okay. Good. So I just wanted to figure out where we are timeline-wise for you guys as far as your project and your involvement. You guys are pretty much ready to go, correct?
We're done, completely tested, the whole nine. The wheel is up and going. It is just still a full construction site. They were planning to open end of November. They got about a 2-month delay. So for a job of that size, really not too bad a shape in.
So I have just a couple more quick questions. One, why would a client choose Extreme Engineering? That's one of the bigger questions that I want to know. Is like, there's a lot of vendors here, man. There's a lot of different things. Why would I want to spend my money with you?
Well, it's actually a two-part question. So it's one, why would you want to work with us as a company, and then why would you like this product? Specifically on the company is we are an engineering company. We're not just a ride builder, designer, guys that test things out and try them. We start with the engineering, so our baseline is solid. The other thing is we are a full-fledged company from top to bottom that's vertically integrated. So we do all of our own fabrication ourselves, and our abilities and our skill sets are pretty vast and varied. The branching off of what we're doing right now is we're doing a lot more work for the A&E, the architectural and engineering firms, because all this weird stuff that we see at all these cool parks, it has to be built by somebody, and most of it's one-off custom. A company like ours is perfect for that kind of site.
So one of the final questions is, tell me in regards to Extreme Engineering, where you guys are looking towards the future. Obviously, you've had a very rapid development in the past, and to where you guys are now, what are you guys looking forward to in the future, to be honest?
Now that this is tightened and buttoned up, we're happy to be putting this in specifically. Going through all those iterations of both the trolleys and the seats is a little stressful, and because it's a feel thing and not a data thing, it's a hard thing to quantify, right? So now that we're here, this is what we want to push forward. We want to go see how many of these sites we can actually go execute. We are doing the next project that we'll be doing in Malaysia will be a VR ride. So we are looking to suspend about 700 feet of track at a project there, and full VR throughout.
Excellent. So again, Matt, I want to say thank you for speaking with us. You're always awesome, and I got a little bit more insight into this cloud coaster. Again, it's really neat seeing the development over the last couple of years. We saw the first prototype come out, and look at this thing, man. You're about to open up something that's pretty much damn near a coaster. So I'm excited, man, and I hope our viewers really take notice of this company, because they are going to make some waves in the future. So again, Matt, thank you for speaking with us. I really appreciate it, man.
Awesome, Ken. Thank you guys, and thank you again for stopping by.